This particular brand reached out to me in 2022 and said, would you be interested in reviewing a watch? I said no. They reached out again in 2024 and said, Pete, have a look at some of our watches. What do you think? I said, yeah, not really keen. They reached out again in 2025, this month, and they said, Pete, would you be keen on reviewing one of our watches? Now, you guys have actually been saying to me in the comment section, Pete, you got to get one of these watches on your channel. Just check it out. Okay, I yielded. I said yes. This is a Venezianico. It's an Italian brand. And the reason I picked this particular red watch to get on the channel for a review, I thought, you know what? Let me pick something bright, vibrant, blingy, something that I don't like. Well, I do like bright colors, but not blingy stuff. And you know what? This has been an easy wear. It's been an easy watch to get along with, because putting the hero aside, which is that dial, this watch also features a tungsten bezel, which is highly polished, a lot stronger than ceramic. And even though it looks black in a lot of the imagery, it's more of a dark reflective mirrored finish. And for me, it's the sort of stuff I really wouldn't go for in a watch. But surprisingly, the geek in me said, you know what, this is not bad. Now put all that aside, I actually got this watch on for you. I've had quite a few comments for people saying, get a Venezianico, just try it. I said, not really my style. Okay, I do get watches that are just for me, and this is what this channel's about, but occasionally, well, not just occasionally, I've gotten quite a few watches in lately, like quartz watches, which are, again, are not for me. For you, this is for you. Let's flip the camera and let's check this thing out. Now, although predominantly I'm not a bling watch type of a guy, I do appreciate the work that goes into designing and making a watch and getting it right. And I think for a diver style watch with a little bit of flair and Italian pizzazz in it, this has been executed pretty well. And the hero, as I mentioned, of this watch is that dial. It's actually a red coral from the Mediterranean, madreporic coral. It's got a nice mosaic composition, and being a natural element from nature, I think it works well in the way it picks up the light. I've enjoyed the look of this watch on that dial, even with that rubber strap. I think it looks nice and it suits this watch. Now, it's not all been roses, because as with any watch, I will critique this properly and tell you where the watch falls down, where it has shortfalls and could offer room for improvement, because there are a few areas that I have encountered in this watch, and I'll share that in the course of this review. Now, Venezianico has sponsored this video, so I will of course leave the appropriate links in the description section. If this watch interests you, by all means dive in and check them out. And looking at the specifications of this watch, I measure a case diameter of 42 with a case height of exactly 12. The lug to lug is 48.7 and a lug width of 22. That crown is a 6.8mm signed screw down crown. The watch offers 200 meters of water resistance, and the weight on the rubber strap, I measure exactly 119 grams. Now on the wrist, I've really enjoyed this watch. It's comfortable, it's balanced, exactly 12mm case height is not thick at all for a diver style watch, and the comfort on that rubber strap has absolutely been beautiful. In fact, looking at that strap, I really like the way it integrates into the case. You've got quick release spring bars. It's very malleable in the hand and offers the right amount of firmness and stability to support that watch head. So in the rubber strap department, I think they've done really well. I love this strap. Now, put that aside, on the bracelet, the watch has been a different story. Although the comfort has been good, the weight has propped up to about 166 grams. And honestly, visually for me, if I was a consumer buying this watch, I wouldn't be buying it on the bracelet. I think visually on the rubber strap, this watch was the ideal choice. But looking closer at that bracelet, it has got a very good articulation. It offers split pins, which I really don't have an issue with, because if a system works and it ain't broke, there's no need to change it. So there's no real complaints in that department. But the clasp here for me is a little bit of a letdown. It doesn't offer toolless micro adjustability, and I think looking at the quality of the rest of the watch head, I'm not sure whether that clasp is the appropriate choice here. But turning the watch over, you'll notice there's a sapphire exhibition case back, and sitting proudly in this watch is a Swiss-made Sellita SW200. It's got a very nice rotor design. It seems to suit the overall design of this watch, and offering screws to screw that case back down rather than a screw type case back, I think they've managed to keep this watch nice and thin at 12mm. So that's a nice achievement in itself. And this particular movement has been running quite healthily, gaining around 3 or 4 seconds a day. Now, if I turn my attention to that bezel, this is another hero of this watch, because that's a tungsten insert. And for anyone who knows anything about tungsten, it's actually harder than ceramic. It's a strong material. It has a dark mirrored finish to it, and this particular bezel is a 120 click unidirectional. Very nice coin edge knurling at the edge of that bezel, and the action is very precise, very subtle, a nice positive system, and it seems to line up absolutely perfect. Now the thing that did draw me to this particular watch, if I had to pick a watch from their collection, was that dial. I think that dial is sublime, it really is. It's a very striking dial, it is the hero for me on this particular watch. You can see it's got floating indices, and the texture on that coral seems to have some nice natural red and orange hues running right through it. It just brings some really nice character and depth into the whole visual experience. And if I dim down the lights to check out the lume of this watch, it features Swiss Superluminova BGW9. On initial impressions, it's nice and bright. I think the handset is very well done, but the indices themselves don't seem to go the distance and seem to trail behind. But overall, a decent application. Now lastly, before I get on to any room for improvement, the price comes in at around 1880 thereabouts Australian dollars. That's around 1060 euro on their website. And that is a little bit expensive because the bracelet itself is an optional extra, albeit I'd be inclined to wear this watch solely on that rubber strap because that rubber strap is superb. Now all that said, what are my gripes? Where does this watch fall down? Where can it offer room for improvement? And the first cab off the rank for me is that bracelet, as I mentioned. I think the construction is quite good. I don't have a problem with split pins. As I mentioned, if a system does work, let it be. But that clasp does seem to be a mismatch in the overall design of this watch. I feel for many enthusiasts, a toolless on-the-fly clasp is expected here. So as I mentioned, if I was in the market on buying a watch like this, I would not be looking at that bracelet. Even though it's comfortable, this is lovely. On this strap, it just seems to be a marriage made in heaven, in my opinion. Next for me is a personal observation that I want to share. The date wheel at 3 o'clock, it's easy to read, it's easy to look at, but if you're going to use, and this is a personal subjective gripe, if you're going to use a stone dial or a natural element, my opinion seems to be, omit any obstructions like date complications, just let the beauty of that stone showcase itself. For me, less distractions are better, and it would bring a nice overall balance and symmetry to this dial. Now, you guys might disagree with that, that's fine, that's my personal opinion, and I did say this is a personal subjective gripe. I really would have liked to see this just no date and show me the beauty of that dial. Another area that I've observed whilst using this watch, it is a fingerprint magnet. That bezel is a mirrored finish. Although it might look black in a lot of the imagery, it is a reflective surface that does pick up fingerprints, and that's one area that I found myself continually cleaning it to bring it back up to speed and visual appeal. But overall, I'm glad that Venezianico did reach out a third time and you guys actually pushed me over the line to get this watch, because the integration of that rubber strap and overall comfort has been absolutely sublime. The visual appeal on that dial has also been very enjoyable. Beautiful color, very subtle orange, very subtle red, strong enough but yet subtle enough to be enjoyed, and I think in that department they've done very well. So hit me up in the comments, guys, let me know what you think about this particular watch or even this brand. You guys have told me to get this brand, well here it is. It's been a surprisingly beautiful experience, regardless of the fact that I found the areas in this watch that could offer room for improvement. If you've got a bigger wrist, if you're a bigger bloke, and you're looking for something a little bit different, this is nicely done and it's definitely very different. So thank you for watching, continue to do your homework when you do your research about watches, and we'll see you in the next one.